Shalom. This video is about asking good questions as a way of understanding the world and God. Reading a book about Leonardo da Vinci, a book about the reason why the world considers him to be the greatest genius who's ever lived. It's amazing what he accomplished in his life. Won't go into all that now, except that the book basically says you can learn to think like Da Vinci, and there are 7 steps to doing that, and the first step is the Italian word for curiosity. So Da Vinci was curious about everything. He never stopped asking questions, challenging assumptions, investigating everything, studying everything he can get his hand on, asking. Now I mention that because there's an old Jewish story about how Jews learn. You might expect a lot of parents, when a kid comes home to school, to say, "Did you learn today?" or "What did you learn today?" But the old story was the Jewish mother who asked her child, "So did you ask a good question today?" Because we learn by asking. In fact, the Talmud is full of questions. What is this? Why is this? Where is this? Who said this? I mention that today because I'm thinking about the holiday of Tisha B'Av and the Torah readings that occur in the Bible readings before Tisha B'Av. And it's all about questions. The main biblical text that's read on the saddest day of the year is called Aichah, which means alas or how. It's a question, really, or an exclamation. The same word occurs in the Torah reading that's always read before Tisha B'Av, the very beginning of the book of Deuteronomy, where Moses uses the word Aichah when he's explaining how can I bear this people when he was frustrated towards the end of his career. And that same word occurs in the prophetic portion, the Haftorah, by Isaiah, who says Aichah. But his is a stronger question. Now Moses was frustrated, wondering how can I bear this, and he was able to. Isaiah's Aichah is a little tougher. Isaiah is talking about how badly the children of Israel are behaving, how much lack of justice there is, and he eventually sees a solution after the problems that will occur, which included the destruction of the temple, and saying, Aichah, alas, woe, this is a very serious issue. The final Aichah is the book that has that word as its title, Aichah, but that is a question and an exclamation of a whole different order. The grief and the wailing is inconsolable at that point. Jerusalem is fallen, the temple is destroyed, and it's a woeful, why did this happen? How did this happen? Alas, this happened. It's a bewailing grief. Now in our lives we have sometimes questions about each of these things. Things happen to us where we wonder why did this happen? Kind of Moses, or how can we get through this? A simple sense of, not of futility, but close. A sense of bewilderment and sadness and depression. Moses saying, how can I bear this people? Aichah. And then it's a stronger problem sometimes we face in our lives, and our people have certainly faced. Isaiah's Aichah in the Haftorah, where he says, how can this happen? And what's happening here? And if this doesn't change, we're doomed. And this is going to be a terrible situation, but we got to figure out how to get out of it. Where's the comfort? And then sometimes we have the inconsolable moment of intense pain, which seems like we'll never get out of it. The Aichah of the Book of Lamentations, even with this mournful, dirgeful tune. Aichah yashva bada da 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 da. But you know, there's another Aichah which is at the very beginning of the Torah, which has the same letters, where God says, the very beginning of the Torah, Ayeka, where are you? To the very beginning people of the Bible. It's interesting, it has the same letters as Aichah, but there it's Ayeka, where are you? Where God turns the tables on us, because our question normally is, God, where are you? Why is this happening? And God turns it back and says, where are you? What are you going to do about it? You rest on me, you find support with me, I've given you direction, I know you can pull yourselves out of this, I'm telling you there's going to be hope, I'm telling you there's going to be a future and comfort, now figure out what to do. And the seed for this hope is based on the idea in Judaism that on the saddest day of the year, the 9th of Av, where all these terrible things happen to our people, the seed of the future of hope is built because the baby of the Messiah, the baby Messiah is born on Tisha B'Av, some year, we don't know when, but according to Jewish tradition that will happen, is a way to say to us, there is a bright future. But we need to ask questions. Why is the world being allowed to be polluted to such an extent that horrible things are going to happen? Why is there so much evil in the world? Why is there so much anti-Semitism? Why is there so much poverty? Why? Hopefully we haven't gotten yet to that last Aichah of bewailing grief. But we're at the indictment of Isaiah, of saying terrible things are happening and we must do something about it. It all starts with a good question. Da Vinci's brilliance in investigating the world. We must ask these good questions so we can come up with answers.